Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. Today we got our AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view review and results. The very first AEW pay-per-view / event. This is history, guys. Very big in the wrestling world. So, I want to say, hope you guys all enjoyed this. And, this is a step in the right direction when it comes to the wrestling business of today. Hope you guys all enjoyed your weekend. Hope you all having a great day. It's raining here in Canada currently, so let's get into this. This is live at the MGM Grand Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Jim Ross, Alex Marvez, Excalibur on commentary, and Justin Roberts, former WWE announcer, doing the ring announcing. Really cool to see him back. He was wearing a nice tux. Overall, I thought this show was solid. Excuse me. I'm not going to sit here and say this was the greatest show of all time because that's just not true. But this was very good. Really solid show overall. I didn't get a chance to check out that Casino Battle Royal. I was actually really interested in that. So maybe I'll go back and watch that later on. But I don't know if this was as good as All In, but this was definitely on that level. We had a total of 9 matches, 2 on the buy-in or pre-show. So they really stuck to this casino theme here with All In, Double or Nothing. They did announce what's going on, everybody in the chat. Hope y'all enjoyed the show if you got to watch it. They did announce they're returning to the Sears Center in September for All Out. So this will be like the, I guess their yearly tradition, their big show of the year. Labor Day weekend, I guess, something like that. Really cool. Or not Labor Day, I think it's the, Labor Day, right? So that'll be like their kind of big big show. And same with Double or Nothing. These will be like their 2 big shows of the year. Cody said they're not going to be doing pay-per-views every month. So let's get into this show. The Casino Battle Royal officially started the show, I guess. I didn't watch it. It did go about 16 minutes. Adam Page got the win here, and we've seen guys like Ty Dillinger. He's going by his real name, Sean Spears. He appeared in it. Several other guys. I didn't watch it, like I said, but Adam Page gets the win. He will challenge the winner of tonight's main event at a future show. I believe it's the Fighter Fest or the other show. Fight for the Fallen. So they also announced a couple more shows for June, July. Fighter Fest will be in June, and Fight for the Fallen in July. We also had Sammy Guevara and Kip Sabian. I'm not too familiar with these guys, but Kip Sabian did get the win here. This match went 10 minutes. What's going on, man? TN Couponer. Again, I'm not too familiar with a lot of these folks on this show, so again, I didn't watch the buy-in, so it's hard for me to rate it. The show officially kicked off here with So-Called Uncensored versus the Strong Hearts. We had Seba, T-Hawk, and Lindemann on the Strong Hearts, and Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky, SoCal Uncensored. This was a decent match. I don't think this was the right match to open the show with. Hello, hello everybody. Um, it had a good pace to it. You had, three veterans here with Daniels, Kazarian, Scorpio, and the Strong Hearts. Again, not too familiar with them, but this was a decent match. It ended with the best Meltzer ever, kind of like a Tombstone DDT combination. They got the 3 count. Kazarian got the pin there. So good match to open up. I wouldn't have went that route, but second match of the night here was a supposed to be a triple threat match, women's match. Britt Baker, Kylie Ray, and Nyla Rose. Out comes Brandy Rhodes, and she's in her gear, and everyone's saying, "Oh, she's gonna be in the match." Is she putting herself in the match? Out comes Awesome Kong. Really cool moment. I thought a little underwhelming though, because Awesome Kong spent the majority of the match on the outside, so she really didn't play a key factor into this. Britt Baker gets the win here. I thought this was a good match. Smiley Kylie, I really into her character. I like Britt Baker. Yeah, it's great to see Awesome Kong back. Such a shame WWE never really did anything with Kong. So Britt Baker got the win there. Third match of the night was the another tag team match. Best Friends, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor versus Angelico and Jack Evans. Um, a good match overall, but again, not too familiar with the guys. And at this point in the show, I think this is a thumbs down show at this point. Um, I can't really rate it that well at this point in the show, but it's slowly building momentum. It's got that slow build to it. Best Friends get the win here, but the ending of the match is interrupted by the Smash Bros. These guys just go crazy. They dominant everyone. There's people in masks around. Dominant performance there by the Smash Brothers. Yup, Best Friends from Ring of Honor. Yeah, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, great team overall. And fourth match of the night. This is, I think, where things took a nosedive. We have 6 women here from Joshi, a Chinese promotion in Thailand. I think the crowd was just so dead on this match, and they almost killed the show. It was a decent match, but again, nobody knew who these ladies were. Chris Jericho can say he can love this match all he wants, but if the crowd's not into it, it's gonna affect how people like or dislike the show. So here we had Aja Kong, Yoko Sakazaki, Emi Sakura versus Hikaru Shida, Ryo and Ryu Mizunami. Decent match, but I don't think anyone was really into it. It's hard to rate it here. Hikaru Shida, Ryo, and Ryu Mizunami got the win. Um, and after this is where things really started to pick up with Cody versus Dustin Rhodes. I think this is definitely my match of the night. I was looking forward to this the most, apart from Jericho and Omega. I absolutely loved the way they did this match. Um, we did have a little dig towards Triple H with the entrance there, the throne, the king throne, whatever you want to call it, with the Celtic cross on it. Triple H or Cody Rhodes takes a sledgehammer, smashes a chair up, and poof, smoke comes out. I don't think that was necessary here. Let's try not to take digs on WWE and try to do our own thing here. But apart from the entrances, I think the crowd was so into this match. And Gold Dust or Dustin hit a gusher. Um, and his face is just pouring out like a faucet. Crimson mask, the absolute definition of a crimson mask. These guys go about 22 minutes. Um, at one point, Brandy Rhodes gets involved. She hits a spear on Dustin, and I think Cody hits Dustin with that sledgehammer or whatever it was, and either that busted him up in hard way or he gigged himself. He gigged himself pretty badly, I think, and the whole ring was just full of blood. Cody was full of Dustin's blood, just blood everywhere. I absolutely loved it. Um, Brandy Rhodes gets thrown out by referee Earl Hebner. It was good to see him again. And this is where they start going to work. Cody Rhodes gets the figure four on Dustin. Yeah, it's been the most blood I've seen in a long time. Um, Dustin Rhodes hits a crossroads for a nice 2 count. Um, I think he hit the not the curtain call, but was it the curtain call or the final cut, something like that? Um, Cody Rhodes ends up hitting a low blow and 2 crossroads for the win. And Dustin said he was about to take his boots off until Cody comes back in the ring, says, "I don't want a tag team partner. I just want my brother." And that was a great moment there. I think it is rumored that Dustin will be competing again at AEW. This was a great match overall, guys. I definitely recommend you guys check that one out. Great match. I if I had to rate it, I'd say easily 4.5 stars or higher. Sixth match of the night was for the AAA tag team titles. Champions the Young Bucks defending against the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix. My favorite tag team right now is probably the Lucha Brothers. Pentagon Jr., he's one of my favorites to watch. Uh-oh, what was that noise? Oh, yeah, that's who they're going to face. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers, or the Rhodes Brothers. That'll be a great match. Um, this was a very good match. We've seen several near falls throughout the match. I think that's the nitpicking here when you hear a lot of people complaining about the Young Bucks is there too many near falls, too many high. That's going overboard. I enjoy near falls in great matches, and that's how matches are built nowadays on false finishes and these high impact moves. Ray Phoenix hit a great combination springboard at one point where he jumped on the top turnbuckle to the middle rope, back on the top rope, and hit a reverse Hurricane Rana or something like this. And while he was doing that, he kicked the other Young Buck off the apron. And that's just insane to pull something like that off. Um, just absolutely insane. Pentagon likes using his pile drivers. We've seen a few of those. A lot of super kicks. I mean, one after another after another. I could see, again, why people don't like the Young Bucks, but this was a fantastic match, in my opinion. Again, probably a good 4.5 star match. These guys, again, when I think about 20 minutes, but Young Bucks retain here. Meltzer driver to retain. Really good match. Finally, the main event. to determine the number one contender who will challenge Adam Hangman Page at a future date. Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Before the match started, we seen Bret Hart come into the ring to present the AEW World Championship. Initial thoughts on the championship here. I think the belt looks gorgeous. It's one of the better looking titles I've seen in a long time. It reminds me of the big gold title kind of fusion with the IWGP heavyweight title. Um, Really good, but I think it does need to be refined a bit. Overall, I think it looks really good, the championship. Yeah, again, really surprised to see Bret Hart on this pay-per-view. Um, I think Bret Hart fell out of the ring. Did anyone catch that? Bret Hart is having a rough year. Um, he gets interrupted by MJF and Adam Page. Page and MJF were the two finalists in the Battle Royal. They did show highlights of that. And MJF cuts a promo saying, you should give up your spot because I'm the future of this company. And he does end up leaving. They do present the title. And again, I think it's one of the better looking titles. I think since all these new titles have been introduced, I like this title more than, when they introduced the TNA title 12 years ago. That title, I really like the TNA heavyweight title. No, not even close to the UFC title. So the match was Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's entrance, he comes out as or other people come out as three variants of him. One as the Lionheart, one as the List of Jericho, and the other one with the light up jacket. I think the Lionheart Chris Jericho was actually Kenny Omega. If you look closely to his hair, might not have been him, but kind of closely looked like him from behind. And then finally, Chris Jericho comes out. He's got the cowboy hat on. He's got his leather jacket on. I love this version of Chris Jericho. He just reinvents himself time after time. No more sparkles, no more fancy light up jackets. Just mean Chris Jericho here. I think Kenny Omega's entrance was underwhelming. But the match had a few ugly spots in it. And I thought Chris Jericho broke his arm at one point. They pulled out this table that looked like a folding table you buy at a hardware store or something. It had real thick wooden legs on it. And it's similar to the tables New Japan uses where they're hard as a rock. And Chris Jericho held the table up. Kenny Omega does a diving swanton out. And he landed with the table on top of his arm like that. I thought it crushed his arm. Just a nasty spot there. Jericho hits a pair of lion salts for a 2 count. Kenny Omega's in the walls of Jericho for a long time here. Doesn't tap out. We only see a couple V triggers in this match. Goes for the one-winged angle, one-winged eagle for a ugly DDT reversal by Jericho. Then they redo the spot. Jericho counters it again into a great DDT. Jericho hits a code breaker, hits the Judas effect for a 3 count, and Jericho is going to fight for the Fallen for the AEW World title. After the match, Jericho is laid out. Omega is getting into it. And out comes Jon Moxley through the crowd. This crowd just erupted. I mean, talk about a way to make an entrance. I was a bit on the fence here Ambrose, John Moxley was going to stay with WWE or not. I was almost confident he would stay with WWE, but in the end, John Moxley does leave WWE and is now a part of AEW. Yeah, it was a great surprise. It didn't leak out, besides for that one video Ambrose posted, Moxley posted. Dirty deeds to Omega, dirty deeds to the referee. Great way to go off the air with Ambrose celebrating on the poker chips. Really cool moment. I mean, I'm so happy for the guy, and to see John Moxley like cringing, and it's like he finally burst out of that WWE PG skin and can be himself again. For the commentary, I thought JR was a bit rusty at times and flubbed a couple line spots. But overall, I thought the commentary was good. I'm not familiar with Alex Marvez. Excalibur, I'm not familiar with at all. I think he Ring of Honor. But I overall, the commentary could be improved upon. Justin Roberts, I'm a big fan of his. Love his work. Um, if anything, I would say get Alex Marvez the boot and just keep Excalibur and JR on there. I'm personally not a fan of the three-man teams. AEW for EC3 is possible. Yeah, didn't they call it the Dirty Deeds or no? Yeah, we got Omega Moxley, Jericho versus Page, Rhodes Brothers versus the Young Bucks. This is going to be a great show in July. And then we got Michael Nakazawa versus some other guy. Just completely lost my train of thought there, but there was several production cues and misses here. Overall, I thought the staging and things like that looked great. The entrance ramp and things like that were decent enough. They sold out in record time, 4 minutes, whatever it was. Overall, I thought the show came across very good. There was definitely low points in the beginning of the show, and it dragged on at times for me. But once we hit that stride, um, after Cody and Dustin, once we got to that point, it was all uphill from there, and we never seen a down point again. If they would have broke those three matches up and kind of worked, worked, and worked to those high points, I think the show would have came off a bit better. But I did like the overall presentation and whatnot of the show. Overall, I'm gonna give the show a definite thumbs up. For a rating, I'm thinking 8 out of 10. To be fair, it was a solid show, like I said in the beginning of the review here. If you guys have any questions or comments, post down now in the live chat. So let's get a few questions and comments rolling for AEW. Omega versus Rollins, I think that would be a hell of a match. Um, Two highly skilled guys. I want to see some of those Japan guys come to it, AEW, because I just know WWE does not know how to book Japan talent. Look at the state of Shinsuke Nakamura. I am so upset by that. The one thing they do need is to improve on is the pacing of matches. It just can't be go, 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 go. There has to be breathing in between these moves. Slow down a hair, make finishes mean a bit more. WWE needs to do the same thing. I've noticed recently that guys aren't kicking out of 2 or 3 finishers. I haven't seen that in a while. So stop doing 2, 3, 4 finishers in a match. Guys criticize Roman Reigns for hitting several spears and Superman punches, then criticize Kenny Omega for hitting 7 V triggers in a match, and guys kicking out of the same thing. The scale has to be balanced out, and AEW is going to be successful whether WWE fans like it or not. The niche product AEW is catering to these fans that WWE is not doing. The one thing, of course, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, you're a WWE fanboy. You're an AEW hater. Vince is scared. The war is on." It's not a war, guys. This is WWE. They're their own thing. AEW is its own thing. So they say. We'll see in October when the AEW ratings start to come in, if the fans are loyal enough to watch the product every week. The Being the Elite show is on YouTube. It's accessible worldwide. TNT, that's a whole nother story. We'll see how that does ratings wise. Let's see if they could do the numbers of a Impact once did on a Spike TV. If they could hit over 1 million, that's great. If they could hit 2 million, that's even better. I think their first few shows will be good ratings wise, but I'm not sure if they could kind of time out the shows in a way WWE does. This show did go way too long, in my opinion. It went, I think, past 11 o'clock, which is over 4 hours in total, which I think was just too long. And they only had 7 matches on the main show. So that tells you timing was off, production was off, who was timing the show? Tony Khan, apparently, which tells you a lot. Tony Khan should not be timing out matches and things like that. You need an experienced guy timing out matches. So there's things to work on. There's things to, keep going at it with. Recently in an interview, Dustin Rhodes said Vince better watch his ass, because right now AEW is the place to watch out for. It's the hot topic right now. It's the new shiny toy. Let's see if they could keep the momentum going. I'm sure they can. Omega, highly skilled. Jericho, a very skilled ring veteran. You know what I also didn't get? What they were mentioning was Jericho's MMA training. I'm not sure if this is a work or a shoot, if Jericho's a legit MMA training or not, but overall, I think this was a very solid show. Comment down below, guys. We'll talk to you later. Peace.